Dear guests, welcome to the University of Nicosia Medical School's first graduation ceremony for the St George's University of London Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery programme. We're now ready to start. Please stand to welcome the academic procession.
Please be seated. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, colleagues, graduates, this ceremony marks an important day for our graduates, their families, the school, our affiliate partner hospitals in Cyprus and abroad, our academic partners in Cyprus and abroad, and for the country of Cyprus itself. The presence of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Cyprus, Mr. Nikos Anastasiadis, honors us and signifies the importance of this day for medical education in Cyprus. We wish to extend a warm welcome to the President of the Republic. We're also pleased to welcome the Minister of Health, the Minister of Education and Culture, the Director of Medical and Public Health Services, the President of the House Education Committee, the President of the European Party, representatives of the AGEL, the C, EDEC, and Συμμαχία Πολιτών political parties, and members of the House of Representatives. From the Diplomatic Corps, we welcome their Excellencies, the High Commissioner of the United Kingdom, the Ambassador of the United States of America, the Ambassador of the State of Israel, the Consuls of US, Israel, and Lebanon. From the medical community, we welcome the President of the Cyprus Medical Association, presidents and representatives of the Cyprus Medical Council and the medical societies. We also welcome presidents and senior representatives of our affiliated hospital partners in Cyprus, the Nicosia General and Makarios III Hospital, Aredeion Hospital, Apollonian Hospital, the Ygea Polyclinic, the Evangelistria Medical Center, the American Medical Center, the Bank of Cyprus Oncology Center, and the Cyprus Institute of Neurology and Genetics. A welcome to the members of Council, board members, and the President of the Council of the University of Nicosia. Due to the international nature of our program, many colleagues and relatives and friends of our graduates from abroad are watching the ceremony through live streaming provided courtesy of the Cyprus Telecommunications Authority. I would like now to introduce the members of the academic platform and to welcome the Rector and Vice Rectors of the University of Nicosia, the Chair of Council, the Principal, the University Secretary, and the Associate Dean for International Education of St George's University of London, the Chief Executive Officer and the Vice President for Research of the Sheba Medical Center in Israel, the Acting Provost of the Cyprus School of Molecular Medicine at the Cyprus Institute of Neurology and Genetics, the President and the Dean of the Medical School of Ponce Health Sciences University in Puerto Rico. From the medical school, the course director, the deans, our associate dean at Swedish Covenant Hospital in Chicago, the academic lead at Nicosia General and Makarios III Hospital, the chairs of department, the academic and clinical discipline leads, the module conveners, the year leads, course coordinators, members of faculty, and the registrar. Excellency, graduates, distinguished guests, colleagues, I wish to assure you that this long-winded introduction takes place only once during the course of the ceremony. Graduates, today marks an important transition in your lives as newly qualified doctors and also in the life of your medical school. Together we celebrate your success and we commemorate the first graduation of medical students in Cyprus during the modern era. In keeping with the rich history and traditions of Cyprus, which sits at the crossroads of 3 continents, you have received an innovative and world-class education. You have gained important international experiences in the delivery of healthcare in Cyprus, Israel, and the United States, which we hope will inform and guide your careers. Your graduation with the MBBS degree of St. George's University of London marks the commencement of an exciting career delivering competent and compassionate care in undertaking research, in finding new methods to extend and improve the lives of your patients around the world. This is also the commencement of a new 4-year cycle in the life of your medical school. We will complement our experiences in the delivery of high-quality undergraduate and postgraduate medical education with a strategy for further enhancing our research activity and international presence through synergies with our local and international partners. Our vision is also to assist the government of Cyprus in implementing the new National Health Insurance Scheme through the provision of postgraduate education in family medicine and to inform healthcare policies through population health research. During your tenure as medical students, you had the privilege of being looked after by 2 universities. As graduates now, both institutions and their affiliated partners take a keen interest in your future development and achievements. And we hope you will stay in close contact with us. We hope that you have grown to love the communities that embraced you in Nicosia, Tel Aviv, and in Chicago, and that you will visit us in the years to come. It is customary for the dean to provide some words of advice similar to the ones that I received when I finally decided to finish my university studies. In keeping with this tradition, I will urge you not to forget to look after yourselves, to read for pleasure, to pay your taxes, all of them and on time, and to keep your speeches short. On behalf of the faculty, the staff, our warm congratulations to you and for your achievement, and to your loved ones who have supported you through the many challenges of being a medical student. It is now my honor to invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Cyprus, Mr. Nikos Anastasiadis, to deliver his keynote address.
Excellencies, distinguished professors, dear graduating students, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and pleasure for me to be here today. It is indeed a very special day as the University of Nicosia's first medical student who began their training at the university 4 years ago in September 2011 are now completing their studies and are being awarded the Bachelors of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery degree of St. George's University of London. I am sure it has been a long and arduous process. Firstly, to be admitted to this program, all students were required to have obtained at least a bachelor's degree and prior experience in the health professions. They then had to pass international examinations and had to go through an interview process. When on the course, during their 3rd and 4th years of study, these students received their clinical education at the Nicosia General Hospital and Makarios III Hospital, as well as at the Shepa Medical Center in Tel Aviv and the Swedish Covenant Hospital in Chicago. Dear graduates, your presence here today indicates your strong determination and commitment, and all the experience and knowledge you have gained are evidence in your degree, which is the key to a successful medical career in any hospital, as well as a solid basis for the continuation of your future studies at a higher level. The University of Nicosia has given you the opportunity to study and acquire the necessary knowledge and qualifications which you will need in your future career. It is also important to note that both the curriculum and the degree awarded today is the same as the curriculum and the degree awarded in London by St. George's University of London, with identical exams delivered simultaneously in London and Nicosia. It is a medical degree, quality assured by the General Medical Council of the United Kingdom and listed in the International Medical Education Directory under St. George's University of London. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, Cyprus is working systematically towards becoming an established international educational and research center. Within this framework, the Ministry of Education and Culture supports the operation and development of private universities and private institutions of higher education, and we have been working towards achieving this goal while also working on strategies for the development and expansion of the public universities in Cyprus. Higher education is the foundation of a competitive economy. It is for this reason that we support both public and private institutions of tertiary and higher education in our country. We hope that this new era for higher education in Cyprus will be greatly supported by the establishment of the National Quality Assurance Agency, which will be responsible for both public and private institutions, and the approval of which should soon be obtained in the House of Representatives. The University of Nicosia is contributing to the realization of government objectives for quality in higher education. Indeed, the medical school, with the variety of degree programs that it already offers, is an example of what can be achieved through the hard work of administrative and academic personnel. I would like to congratulate you for what you're doing. In this framework, I am delighted to announce the cooperation of the University of Nicosia and the Medical School of St. George with the Limassol General Hospital, which will form now and serve as a university hospital. The legal framework of this cooperation is expected to be finalized soon, within the next few days. This is what the Minister of Health has informed me before. Dear first graduating class, sorry, I'm applying to them, not to you. With the completion of your studies, I am certain that you have the necessary qualifications for professional success. Your profession is highly respected and valued. I wish you courage and strength in your career so that you can serve this honored profession with integrity and dedication. Congratulations on your graduation, and I wish you every success in your future endeavors. And please, don't forget to pay your taxes.
Mr. President, ministers, honoured guests, colleagues, and most particularly our graduates. It is my privilege to welcome you to this first graduation ceremony for the St. George's medical degree delivered by the University of Nicosia in Cyprus. It is an exceptional occasion, and I would suggest that the date, the 15th of May 2015, 15/5/15, should go down in history. Very little is known about the real St. George, although he's believed to have been born a noble in the Middle East. George refused to take part in systematic persecution of Christians by the Romans and was himself tortured and executed in Palestine in 303 AD. The legend of George slaying a dragon originates from medieval times and is on the back of my gown. What was striking when I first visited Cyprus was the number of effigies of St. George on the island, symbolic of a link between Cyprus and England's patron saint. Today's ceremony is another important symbol of the link as we witness the graduation of these first doctors trained in a medical school in Cyprus, but with a UK degree. Given the auspiciousness of the occasion, may I be permitted just to indulge for a moment in explaining the significance of a degree from St. George's Hospital Medical School. I was in the audience when Sir Bruce Keogh, who's the current medical director of NHS England, was talking about how Britain has contributed to science and discovery in medicine. And many of the areas that he identified were in fact discovered, invented, or put into clinical trials at St. George's. So, graduates, let me just explain. It was Edward Jenner, an alumnus of St. George's in 1796, who took the inoculum from a cowpox on the back of Sarah Nelm's hand, and, without informed consent or ethical permission, inoculated it into James Phipps's arm. He was aged 8, and subsequently shown that James was protected against smallpox, the start of vaccination. Sadly, another famous alumnus of St. George's, Henry Gray, FRS of Gray's Anatomy, died at the age of 34 from smallpox, caught from his nephew, despite being vaccinated. Nevertheless, it was a George's alumnus who actually drew the amazingly detailed anatomical drawings in Gray's Anatomy, which live on till today, Henry Van Dyke Carter. It was Patrick Manson in 1877 who was the person who identified the likely carriage of malaria by mosquitoes, a lecturer at St. George's. Then moving into the 20th century, Patrick Steptoe, who graduated from St. George's in 1939, was the surgeon who developed the technique of the telescopic or laparoscopic removal of ova from women's ovary, and working with Robert Edwards, actually established in vitro fertilization, IVF. Just think of the millions of babies that have been born since then. Interestingly, the moral outrage when Louise Brown was born in 1978 meant that they did not report their findings until 1980. In the 1960s and the 1970s, doctors Aubrey Leatham, Jeffrey Davis, and Mike Davis led the world in defining valvular heart disease through auscultation, echocardiography, and pathology, and also the understanding of cardiac arrhythmias, abnormal heartbeats. St. George's had the first European centre for angiography and the first centre for cardiac pacemaking in the 1970s. And it was a forensic pathologist, Donald Tier at St. George's, who described the condition hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is an inherited condition and may account for some of the deaths of elite athletes that unfortunately we're beginning to see apparently on a more frequent occasion, and that research still lives on at St. George's. In the late 1960s, a physicist called Godfrey Hounsfield, who worked for EMI, took his idea of serial X-rays analyzed by a computer program to Queen Square nervous Diseases Hospital and was told literally to get lost. He came to St. George's and worked with a very energetic and innovative neuroradiologist, Dr. Jamie Ambrose, and the first CT scan in the world was performed at St. George's in September 1971. There are many other discoverers. There are discoverers outside science. I'm sure very few of you would know that Walter Cheadle, who qualified from St. George's in 1861, joined an unsuccessful expedition to find Canada's Northwest Passage. But there can't be many medical schools that have a town and a mountain named after one of their alumnus. And finally, perhaps one of our even more famous alumnus was Edward Wilson, who journeyed to the South Pole with Robert Falcon Scott on that ill-fated expedition and died in 1912. I'm pleased to confirm that that spirit of discovery lives on at St. George's. It is epitomized by our current researchers in infection and immunity. Professor Julian Marr is developing vaccines, so we hark back to Jenna. He's developing vaccines from plants. It's known as farming, P-H-A-R-M-I-N-G. And Mike